Is it worth getting into Radiant mining? Radiant is a newer cryptocurrency, right? Imagine going back in time and getting into Bitcoin mining, but many years ago. It would be incredibly lucrative in retrospect, right? Then enter Ethereum, enter Dogecoin, Litecoin. I mean, literally any of the coins that have made it. If you could go back in time and buy them or just simply mine them, incredibly lucrative endeavors. Well, the coin and topic of today is going to be Radiant, the RXD coin that is building a blockchain. It's supposed to be scalable. It's all the stuff you've heard before. And to be frank, it's a very low cap coin. That means the upside could be huge. If this coin 10x'd, it would only be worth $120 million by market cap. To put that into comparison, Dogecoin is worth over $15 billion, a joke meme coin. Kaspa worth over $3 billion, nearly $4 billion right now. And many other mineable cryptocurrencies, like Nervo's network, is worth well over $500 million. So we're going to be looking at Radiant. We're going to be looking at their Radiant miners. It's recently ASIC mined. These are these application-specific integrated circuit miners. These custom computers, all they do is mine normally one mining algorithm, but there's actually a dual miner that's come out, which was very surprising for this cryptocurrency. Hey, I'm Vosk. Let's dig into this. I've been working hard to build not only the VoskCoin mining farm, as you see, but also the VoskCoin YouTube channel. So I hope you subscribe and like this content. I think you'll learn something by the end of it. And if not, I'm sorry. Radiant has a SHA-512 variant mining algorithm here. Block time reportedly right now of around 5 minutes, right? So it's faster than, say, Bitcoin, but slower than some other cryptocurrencies. And obviously, they have, like everyone else, they have future plans to get bigger, better, faster, stronger. I mean, cue the song. 0.13 BTC in emission. I mean, that is just like nothing. But it is, again, a very low cap coin. We look at the emission, all these different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin's putting out over $30 million of coins per day. Kaspa over 1 million, right? Just put that into perspective. There's been a lot of talk about ALF mining recently. If you've been following that, this is going to be a great comparison. So Alephium has a market cap of about $130 million. It's literally like 10x this. And if you 10x'd it, it would be putting out more in newly mined coins per day than ALF, right? But then you take that all even further, right? And you look at things like Kaspa and how mining's been going crazy on that over the last year. The increase would be astronomical in market cap for those to be comparable, and it would be incredibly lucrative if it ever did that. But will it do that? Well, we'll talk about that a bit more here in a second. Let's talk about how you can get in the mining game if you want to. IceRiver RX0 and the Dragonball A11. This one in particular is weird. We got this in, and I've been, to be frank, really disappointed with it. It's doing what it's supposed to do, right? But it's a dual. It's like a dual miner, right? So it mines Radiant as well as ALF at the same time. But Radiant and ALF mining profitability are diminishing so rapidly that when I ordered this versus receiving it, it's mining like 20% or less of what it was projected to earn in mining profitability. Understand that difference in time was like a week or two. It's a rapidly diminishing returns. The bottom can easily fall out in this coin and it plummets to like $6 million market cap, and these things are barely worth even keeping on. But again, of course, it could absolutely skyrocket, right? If we look at the volume on this cryptocurrency, it's picking up big time. It's doing well over $250,000 in volume per day. Like, that is good. It's up 65% in the last 30 days and down over the last year. When we look at the markets on Radiant, it's not on any good exchanges. By the way, watch out for Trade Ogre. They're absolute piece of shit scammers. They have stolen over $4,000, nearly $5,000 of Kaspa from me. They acknowledged that my coin's in their exchange, and they basically said, if I don't delete these posts calling them scammers for stealing my coins to begin with, they're not going to send me my coins. I'd rather expose them as scammers than let them continue to go on scamming others, and I get my 4K back. So f*** you. I hope that you never end up in a situation like I've ended up, with them. I'm going to be reaching out to my contact and also the founder of CoinGecko and see if I can get this trust score put on red, because these guys are nothing short of scammers. And CoinGecko is a good op. They're not here to advertise scammers. Obviously, do your own research, due diligence, things like that. One of the many problems when you have a newer coin like this, adoption is very poor. Nobody wants to use these crap exchanges. All of these exchanges here go from literally scammers to C-tier exchanges at best. I mean, look at this volume. You're not going to do anything with $46 of volume. MEXC is famous for their market makers on the C-tier exchanges. So that's like plenty of volume for most miners and traders and stuff like that. But yeah, be very cautious if you keep any seriously, valuable to you amount on an exchange. So one of the key takeaways of this, though, is if they get on some better exchanges, like for example, like a Binance listing, would be absolute game changing for this coin, for the volume, and I would guess and expect, obviously, the market cap there too. So that's like the potential upside of this cryptocurrency that is actively embracing the ASIC miners. That's something we need to talk about and analyze. ASIC sales are reaching miners. They're happy that that's happening. It's more decentralized and secure. It's an endorsement from the RXD community Twitter, which is their official link Twitter here, from CoinGecko, among other places. My mining rewards, again, I've only recently gotten the A11 deployed. It's been doing well, or it really is advertised, a little bit above expectations, which is good. I'm happy to see that, as opposed to like many of my goldshell miners recently have been coming in below their advertised hash rates. And that gets really old really fast, along with their prices. But the prices on Dragonball miners are also terrible. Again, thousands of dollars decrease in price per miner from me ordering to receiving, rapidly diminishing mining rewards. I would have more money if I just waited and then ordered now, as opposed to then. I haven't made even close to that. I mean, I've made like $40. Okay, I haven't made like $2,000 plus. It's crazy. The age-old rule that you basically buy new miners right when they come out and you do well has been disproven. The A11 has been a terrible move so far, and also the bitmain miner A11 has been a terrible move. I got into that when it was going for 30 grand. You can pick one up today for 10 grand 2 weeks later. It's disgusting. Miner manufacturers, all these just Chinese companies, they have poor business practices. They're all rooted in price gouging, and just the only one getting rich are the miner manufacturers, not the miners lately, and it's just infuriating. So IceRiver has made a Radiant miner. Let me show you what they do. Okay, so look how many Kaspa miners they produce now, right? And some of these are hosted models, but seriously, look at all these different models, and they all aren't even listed here. There are like several other variations of, say, like the KS0. So look at all these, right? And all they did in the beginning was come out with a simple, humble IceRiver KS0. Okay, look what's happening on Alpha already. They come out with the AL0, then they turn around and release the AL3. They have the AL2 Lite now. So there's going to be many more models here on Radiant. But they can only take that so far because, again, there's not that much money to be had. Looking at the daily emission, right? 0.13 BTC is like, what's it, $7,000, $8,000, $8,000, right? That's not much money. Again, we compare it to like Alpha, that's putting out like 0.9 on average per day. And then you have Kaspa putting out like 24 Bitcoin emission on average per day. I wish that they would also like show by the side of this what the actual USD amount was there. So yeah, to be frank, really to cut to it, I don't like or recommend Radiant mining. It's incredibly risky. Right, you get into these miners, right, and so this thing's already making like $1 a day. Again, the A11 is pulling about $20 a day before the electricity bill, so I'm actually realizing around $10 in mining profitability for that device with the actual coins I'm mining, and accounting for my 7 cent per kilowatt hour electricity bill, which is low. It's good. So really, when I look at all these different miners and these price points, right, like if I wanted a little mini at-home miner, I'd be looking at this miner, right? Yeah, it's more expensive, but it's more viable long term. It's pretty good efficiency in the script mining game, which is the mining algorithm for Dogecoin, Litecoin, right? But then for that same price point, I could get into the Bitmain L9, and this thing is more profitable, more stable, and just way better across the board, right? And that's just if we're looking for speculative altcoin mining. And by the way, we're an affiliate with Coin Mining Central. Please, if you enjoy our content, use our links. It supports the channel, and support yourself with our coupon code VoskCoin to save some coin. If you're an orange coiner, right, you could also get into the latest generation air-cooled Bitcoin miner for less money for a whopping 270 terahash a second. If you compare that to poor performing previous generation Bitcoin miners, right, 270 divided by 90, it's literally like 3 S19s in one for almost the same power consumption. That's crazy. That's some pretty serious Bitcoin mining density. Depending on your electricity rate, right, you probably earn like $5 to $10 a day in profits on this. So maybe it's not as lucrative, but you're mining the original, centerpiece of cryptocurrency. And here's where things get crazy, right? So I mentioned IceRiver, and they're obviously going to make more models for this that will make this less profitable, right? Let's be frank on that. Ibelink's been putting out a lot of new miners over the last year. Particularly their Kaspa miner and Siacoin miner have done well and been profitable, right? Of course, there's goldshell, which they release a new miner every week, and most of those are not providing good returns at all, which is pretty frustrating. We obviously have big bad bitmain. You think they're not going to show up with a better Radiant miner? I mean, look what they do to these smaller companies. Bitmain has been going hard in the altcoin mining game. I mean, look at their presence now. There's hardly any altcoins that have miners for them, ASIC miners, that they also don't produce not only their own model, but a better model. And they've even come out with some firsts on coins now. For example, like the SCP ASIC miner, which, to be frank, was shocking. Weird, unprecedented for their previous business behavior and moves. They're probably going to come out with a Radiant miner, and it's probably going to be better. The best way to put this into perspective, right? We look at the Dragonball KS6 for Kaspa, their best Kaspa miner. They have the KS Plus, I think it's slightly better. But anyway, 10.5 terahash a second for 3,400 watts. I talked about this in my A11 review too, but so if you saw that, I'm sorry if this is a little redundant. But then we look at what Bitmain did around the same time period. They released a miner that's literally twice as powerful with a lower power consumption. And that, my friends, is their economies of scale, their engineering team, and they're cutthroat. Then they come in and they price gouge people in the beginning with, oh, look how awesome this machine is. And then they drop the price, make a ton of them, and make all of their competitor machines less profitable, because eventually, because their machines are more efficient, they will be the only machines that are actually turning a profit, while all the other ones are burn more than they earn in electricity compared to the coins mined. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's my situation. To be frank, I absolutely have that buyer's remorse feeling on the A11 miner. I'd much rather just trade it for an L9. If you want to trade me, please. I don't know. I'm getting burnt out with all this stuff. It's the same thing over and over and over again. They just rinse, wash, repeat, whatever. Here's a coin, now it's ASIC mine, buy these miners really expensive, profits drop dramatically. Okay, here's a new model, this one's profitable, okay, and now it's not, and on and on and on and on. So, alas, that's where I'm at. That's the scoop. I'd be honest, I didn't really enjoy this subject, and it's just because I'm frustrated with all this stuff, irritated. It's been so difficult to turn a profit in the mining game with all of this, to be frank, just price gouging and rapid model releases. There have been more miners released over the last year than, honestly, all of mining combined, especially if you just take out the weirdly never-ending model releases of the S19 series from Bitmain. You take those out of the equation, in the last year, we've probably seen more miner models released than all of history combined. And that's crazy. And just I'm done. 10 seconds tails we do on every video. CMO, Chief Mining Officer. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. And more importantly, good luck.